Good Thursday evening, everyone. Just want to give you an update on our weather situation that will be developing over the next couple of days, actually starting tomorrow's to a certain extent. So we'll just jump right on into it. What to watch for? High winds will be developing once again. Is it going to be as bad as the last big wind event we had? Probably not. I'm looking for wind gusts this time around 40-ish miles per hour. Last time, we had wind gusts over 60 miles an hour. So not as bad, but it's going to be enough to where there will still be the potential for sporadic power outages across the Cumberland Plateau. And what's important about this is that we have severe weather threats to deal with this go around. So the wind's not going to be as bad, but we have a severe weather threat that we didn't have the last time. So, we had a very small risk for severe weather in the last wind event. This time we have a rather significant risk, especially compared to that one. So, you want to make sure that you have access to weather information if you lose power, because there's weather that you're going to need to be staying informed about over the weekend. So make sure you've got batteries for your weather radio, your cell phones are charged up, you've got ways to charge your cell phone if you don't have power in your home. So make sure you've got that taken care of. Tomorrow is the day to get all that stuff ready if you haven't already. You can still go to Walmart and get a weather radio. I'm sure surely they have them still. Kroger sometimes has them. So probably too late to order it on Amazon, but and it's too late to get one from me. So I'm too busy now. So, but several people came and got them this week at Creative Compassion. So that was so cool. Really appreciate folks doing that. So the high winds are developing starting tomorrow, seeing wind gusts to 30 miles an hour or so by tomorrow evening. They could jump up to 35 or so Friday night, and then we're getting into 40 mile per hour range on Saturday. Low wind risk for severe storms late Friday night, early Saturday morning. So I have updated the timing on that, and we'll get to that in just a moment. A possible break in the action Saturday mid to late morning into the early afternoon, and I put question marks beside that because we don't want that. We want clouds and showers to stick around. We don't want a break. You never want sun on a stormy day, right? Look what happened today. We had sunshine, we got warm, we had a weak disturbance come through, and we had our 30% chance of showers turned into what probably should have been a 50% chance for showers and thunderstorms. And some of those storms even had some small hail. And that was a weak disturbance on a sunny Thursday afternoon. So the atmosphere this time of the year is easily energized. That's why our severe weather season is March, April, and May. That's the peak of our severe weather season. Now, if we get that break, that sets us up for potential discrete supercells Saturday evening into the overnight. Those are always the most serious of severe weather, at least almost always. And so we'll track those. We'll see what happens. Do they stay all in Alabama? Do they stay in southern Middle Tennessee? Or do they try to drift up here onto the plateau? We'll keep an eye on it. Not every supercell produces a tornado. Just because you get a supercell doesn't mean you got a tornado. But they do always carry threats, large hail, damaging winds, and of course that tornado risk. Squall line probably between 9 p.m. and midnight. We'll have to wait till it develops before we can track it, but that's looking like a good time frame for that. And that sucker could pack a punch. You know how we are with squall lines. They come up to the plateau. Sometimes they weaken, and sometimes they don't. And so, but they always carry that damaging wind threat. And they can also have isolated tornadoes within the line that we always have to be mindful of. You're never in the clear until the squall line has cleared out. Okay. And then finally, improving weather for Sunday. Late Friday night, level of concern is still level 2. That makes it a meteorologist mark weather alert night because level 2 and above is meteorologist mark alert. Now, the timing has changed. We'll get to that in just a minute. My level of concern for Saturday, and the reason why it says Saturday, not Saturday night, it's all day. Saturday, pretty much. We're high in level 3, about to step into level 4, depending on what future data shows. So, but maybe future data will suggest that I inch it back down to the middle of 3. So, severe weather is never guaranteed. Never. There's always things that can bust a severe weather forecast. There are lessons all day long in busted severe weather forecasts. So they're never guaranteed. Premier Generator is bringing us our threat graphic, and I have left this the same. The only thing I changed was the threat time frame for Friday night, which is literally Saturday morning, 3 a.m. to 9 a.m. So I think this is better. This means that some of us are going to be able to, some of you all are going to be able to go to bed and then get up really early if you need to. The threats are all still low, but they are not zero. And stay tuned because I still may need to raise some of these threats. Okay. But I felt like this for several days. I still feel like this now. I feel pretty good about this level of threat on each of these things that I have outlined there. The greatest risk will be straight line winds from thunderstorms. Okay. Low end tornado threats, low end hail threat, and a low flooding threat. But again, stay tuned just in case this updates. My threats for Saturday have all increased. Okay. Looking at the latest data, I want you all to be well aware of how weather aware we need to be on Saturday. Main threat time frame, I've backed that all the way back up to 4 p.m. Okay, 4 p.m. to midnight, and timing with that may change. If we get peaks of sun in the afternoon and any storm that develops, let me put it to you this way. Main threat time frame, 4 p.m. to midnight. Anything on Saturday has the potential to be severe. Okay. Anything. So it's just that kind of environment. Very volatile, not nearly as volatile as the environment down in Alabama, but still. If you know anybody who lives down in Alabama, Mississippi, even Georgia, southern Middle Tennessee, southern East Tennessee, make sure, all of Middle Tennessee, make sure that they're weather aware and that they know this threat is coming, because we do need to be weather aware. So here's what do. We get ready. So you test your weather radio to make sure it's functioning properly. Make sure you got it turned on. Make sure your phone is charged. Make sure you've got ways to charge it if you lose power. Have your safety plan in place. Know what you're going to do. Where do you go if there's a severe thunderstorm warning or a tornado warning? Be sure to have a flashlight, sturdy pair of shoes, and extra clothes handy. Check the forecast before going to bed. Overnight tornadoes are twice as dangerous as daytime tornadoes, and we certainly have a risk for those, especially going into Saturday night. So hopefully this will get out of here before midnight Saturday night. But we'll just keep an eye on things and see. I know several of you all have storm anxieties. I hear from you, and I hear it. I know. I get it. I mean, believe me. After I experienced my first tornado, I really get it. But let's not get too worked up over something that's not guaranteed. Okay. Yes, there's a risk for some severe weather tomorrow night, and there's another risk for severe weather Saturday night. And yes, everybody's talking it up, and some are even hyping it up. But let's just keep in mind, you can have all the ingredients, but that doesn't mean they're all going to come together just right to produce a lot of severe weather. There are still scenarios that lead us to heavy rain and gusty winds, and we dodged the big bullets. We've dodged them before. We may dodge it again, but let's be prepared just in case we don't. You folks have a wonderful evening. Keep looking up. I'll keep updating as needed, and I'll have a fresh big update in the morning. You just keep it right here. Meteorologist Mark.